Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Aftershock Corner Top 5 Flop 5s, Episode 2. I'm here with,
Chris.
and we didn't get canceled after a week. We're still here. Nothing
Okay.
happened. We didn't get a video reported or anything like that. We're still here. Isn't that great?
We actually stayed kind of on schedule too.
I know, yeah. I mean, not
A couple days
exact.
late, but better than nothing.
No, this was always the plan. We were always doing it Monday, but we didn't get it done right at 12 because I had to take a phone call. You know, when you have to take phone calls, it affects your schedule. So,
It does. It does. Especially yours.
I
Yours
know,
is a little
yeah.
bit more.
But yeah, we're here to do top five, flop five. I was on his ass this week to make sure he got his list done. I don't know how professional it is because I can't see him. So you better actually have
Well,
this list, by the way. You better not just be making shit up. So
well, I'm making it up
hey,
off the top of the dome piece.
don't be like James last week. He made his all of his up like right on the fly. Don't be like that. Don't do that.
Nope, they were all done by like 8 o'clock this morning
Good boy.
on my notes application.
Oh, that's great. That's very professional. I bet you were pissed at Steve because Steve had like a big PowerPoint presentation on his. You're like, you're like, you're like, damn it, Steve. Now I gotta fucking try to outdo you.
Oh my god.
But yeah, let's get right into it. I don't know if you saw the format of this show. So, I don't know if you watched last week's episode, but pretty much how this is gonna work is we're gonna just to get all the negatives out of the way. We're gonna say all the negative things first, and then we're gonna say all the positive things at the end, and then at the end we're gonna say what was the best and worst of the week. So hopefully you did that too. But let's
So
find out.
we're doing negatives first, and
Yeah, we'll do
then
all the flops.
so all the flops and honorable mention flops do go first.
Dishonorable mention flops. You mean?
Yeah,
He's
dishonorable
on.
mentions.
He's
Yeah,
on honorable. So.
these are very honorable.
So yeah, I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna start so that way, because the host I think should always go first since I'm nice enough to have you on this show. So
Yeah, very nice.
yeah, let's uh let's get right into it. So as like I said to for these flops, we don't hate well, sometimes we hate the wrestlers, but sometimes we don't necessarily hate the wrestlers. We're just doing this because either you had a bad week or
Yeah,
the company wasn't good to you. They made you have a bad week. So um, because some of the flops that are on here isn't necessarily the wrestler's fault. So
yeah.
we're just doing this to think of you. We're trying to make you better. So if you get offended, then you're only hurting yourself.
It's all your fault.
Like I said, I'll have more of a catchphrase. That was very sloppy, but I'll have more of a catchphrase for it. So I'll start on my and the dishonorable mentions aren't necessarily in any order. They're just like they suck, but they don't suck enough to make the flop
I,
five. So
I only did two of them, so
that's fine. James only did two last week, so. But
I
yeah,
couldn't think of any others.
here's my first flop. It's from NWA USA Season 1, Episode 3. I don't know if you've been watching any of it. Probably not.
Nope.
It was an empty arena match. It was George South versus Wrecking Ball. I'm assuming you only know one of those names, probably. So,
Yeah, I heard the match was trash though, because
yeah.
I saw it on Facebook, like the match graphic, and
Yeah,
people said
so,
it was an awful match.
so
So
yeah, let's go. I'll go over it real quick. First, the main reason why this was like I don't hate empty arena matches. I love The Rock versus Mankind, but NWA's got to stop. Nobody wants to watch an empty arena match anymore. We've had to see. I've seen enough empty arena wrestling from the pandemic. Stop doing empty arena matches.
too
Um,
many.
I'm sick of them. Like
I'm sick of them.
it's fine to do it once in a while, but like I don't want to see one for a long ass time. We had to watch a lot of empty arena wrestling, especially too like the beginning of the pandemic. Because remember, no one was doing it because they didn't do any crowd or anything like that because
Yeah,
it was like the beginning of the pandemic. So I've seen enough.
especially AEW was in Atlanta. They were even at Jacksonville yet.
I know.
Where they were in Jacksonville, when they moved to Jacksonville, they started putting wrestlers like at ringside, and it made it seem like there was a crowd there.
Yeah.
But
The
that was brutal in the beginning.
the match itself too was really bad. Cause George South is like I don't even know how old he is. He's got to be like he's probably about the same age as probably like Tim Storm, maybe a little older than Tim Storm, and he can't take any bumps, so he can barely have anything done to him in the match. It was just a really clunky fight. It was no disqualifications, no countouts, and the tag team C.W. Anderson was in George Souther's corner, and Jay Bradley, not the Jay Bradley you think it is, it's a different Jay Bradley, was in Wrecking Ball's corner, and for some reason, even though it's a no countout, no disqualification match, the managers just stood there. They didn't get involved or anything like that. It was like, why? I hate it when they do that in no disqualification match, when they have their people in their corner and they don't do anything about it. The only thing that saved this match is the right person won over, because George South is in the position where he should be putting people over. But this match was clunky. It was bad, and like I said, it's an empty arena match. I don't want to see empty arena matches anymore. So
Yeah, it's not a special thing anymore. Like, people can't see this violence.
yeah,
Like it was with The Rock and Mankind. Like, extremely special. Like, they didn't want anyone because they knew it was gonna be a knockdown, drag out brawl. They didn't want anyone there to get hurt.
yeah.
They said, "Fuck it."
Well,
No one there.
especially too because we didn't see it all the time now either. So
Yeah, and they did the 6-man tag too. Also,
yeah,
at the Performance Center, that one was really good too. Also,
that wasn't actually even an empty arena match. That was just, they actually had fans there, if you remember.
did they?
Yeah, remember they had not legit fans, but the Performance Center there, where people were there as fans. So
Oh yeah,
you're talking about the one at halftime heat, right?
halftime heat. Yeah,
Yeah.
both the halftime heats.
Yes. But yeah, so I didn't like that empty arena match. It was pretty bad. What's one of your dishonor? Is this anywhere? I mean, since you didn't see this, you don't know. But what's your first dishonorable mention?
Veer Mahan is coming to Raw.
Yep.
I don't know when he's coming to Raw. He's just coming to Raw. No one knows when. He's coming soon. That's when soon. Is it tonight? Because it's Monday? Or is it 6 years from now? When the fuck is he coming to Raw? I want to know. He sucks, but I want to know. So they can stop playing the stupid graphic for the past 2 months.
I think it's been longer than that because in October, even after the draft, they were playing this graphic too.
Oh yeah, so it's been since October.
Yeah.
He's coming soon. When the fuck is this coming soon gonna come soon?
Yeah.
Is it never gonna happen? Is he never gonna debut? They're just gonna play this for fucking ever, and then people are gonna forget about it, and they're gonna release him.
Do you remember? This is the exact same thing. They did this with Brodus Clay. He was supposed to come to Raw as this dominant monster, and he never showed up. And then he came back. He came on the first Raw of 2012 as the Funkasaurus.
That was funny, yeah, because he's supposed to come back as the gimmick that he had before.
And then he never did.
Monster heel, but he was the Funkasaurus, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is the Brutus Clay that I was thinking was coming to Raw."
So that's what. If that happens in VO, we think he's gonna come as this dominant monster. And he comes up, not the Funkasaurus, but he comes up as a dancing character or something.
Oh my god, that'd be hysterical. Or the guy that was supposed to feud with the Undertaker.
Oh yeah.
Way back in the day, and then after one vignette, they're like, "You know what? This guy sucks. We don't want him anymore." Cade Vanson, whatever. Hanson, what the hell his name was. Vanson.
Hey, let's be real. Even though that kind of sucked for him, it ended up kind of working out because we got Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania out of it. So
yeah, it was much better than whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, it's kind of weird too. They took him away from Jinder Mahal for some reason. I don't know.
And then his fucking tag partner is with Grayson Waller now.
Yeah.
Gurov, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Because he debuted as this heavy last week.
Yeah, he did.
At least his tag partner was doing something, but he wasn't.
I know.
The NXT tag partner, not the main roster tag partner.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you show up soon, please, Via? We need you to show up so that way we know you're not dead.
Or coming soon.
Yeah. All right, here's my other dishonorable mention. That's not anywhere on my list, by the way, because there was things I thought that sucked worse than this. But plus I kind of forgot about that because it was buried in the show. So
it's halfway through the show. They're like, "Here's Veer Bond. He's coming." No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's never going to come to Raw ever.
Hey, think about it. Veer Mahan's making out. He just gets paid just to sit at home and do nothing. So
Gets paid to sit in catering while fucking Vignette plays for 7 months.
maybe imagine maybe he doesn't even know. He's like, wait, I'm coming to Raw soon. I'm just here in catering. When am I supposed to show up? Like,
When am I supposed to actually be on television?
yeah. All right. My other dishonorable mention is from NXT 2.0 this week, January 18th, 2022, to be specific. It was Dante Shin's return. So I love this video package. That was fine. The
That was
mat.
really good.
What I hated was his return match. It was actually going fine. I don't even remember who he wrestled. He wrestled, I think, some enhancement talent or something. And it was actually going really well. And then all of a sudden, I forget I forget his name now. It's the guy that Vince was high on, like right in the beginning of the pandemic. He was like with MVP with Shane Thorne in the beginning. What was his name?
I know who you're talking about. It was
Yeah,
not Duke Hudson.
yeah, Duke Hudson. What was his name before? Because that's the name I was thinking of.
It was it damn Brendan Vink.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So Duke Hudson shows up, and then, this is the first time we've seen him since he lost his hand versus hand match with Cameron Grimes, and he just wrecked this guy. The reason I hated this is you literally just hype this guy up as a return, and you already have him get destroyed in his first match. Like, couldn't he have won the match first and then do the attack? Like, legit, this guy This guy didn't even get over out of this return. Like,
The
legit.
big return. Here he comes. Oh, wait a minute. He just got his
Yeah.
ass kicked by someone, and the match is over.
And the worst part is this is obviously going to lead to a feud or something. He's probably not even going to win the feud in the end. He's probably losing this feud. So what's the
No,
point of this?
Duke Hudson's 100% going to win.
Yeah. So what's the point of this? What was the point of this return? Like, could this guy have gotten like some wins and then, if you want to have Duke Hudson kick his ass, that's fine. He got the both guys get over. No one's going to get over out of this. This is terrible.
No one is. That's just not a good idea.
Yeah, it's just terrible. I thought this was pretty bad. Is this anywhere on your list?
No, it's not. I have one more.
All right. What's your last dishonorable mention?
Viking Raiders versus Los Lotharios.
Oh, you
want
didn't
to know why?
Why?
Too fucking short.
That's fair.
This match should go a lot longer. I feel like if that match was like 10 minutes, it would have been great. But instead, it was like 3.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see more. I want to see more of that.
That's fair.
Because both those are really good tag teams, and they
Yep.
seem like they're working really well together. And then I look down, and I look up, and it's the Viking Experience, and it's over.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I was kind of excited for that match, too. It really irritated.
That's actually fair. That's fair enough. I
don't hate either of those teams. I like all 4 of those guys. I just want to see them get more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not gonna dispute that. So, but you've obviously would have still had the same result, right? With the Viking Raiders winning since they're being built up to face the Usos.
I just want it to be more of a back and forth competitive match.
Yeah, I would have
rather than a 3-minute squash match.
I agree with that. Yeah, I'm actually I agree with that. All right, so my last dishonorable mention was Aaliyah versus Natalya from SmackDown this week on January 21st, 2022. It was
terrible.
Here's the whole match. Natalya dominated the whole match, and then they did the work. We've talked about this finish on like the Aftershock corner before. The worst finish in the world when Natalya lost by kicking too much ass, and then she like forgot the rules. Like after she was told she was disqualified, it's like what did I like? She didn't even remember the whole.
What did I do? I don't know. Maybe they counted to 5 and decided that was the end.
But I hate that finish. Like, how do you lose for being too dominant? That just doesn't even make any sense. I hate that rule so much.
It's one of those rules that's plagued wrestling. It's like, you want to have someone be dominant, but then you give them a 5 count to break something up, and they're trying to get like.
It's fine if it's like a submission, but it shouldn't be like if you're stomping somebody too much in the corner. Like that's
punching them.
Yeah.
Out of the fucking arsenal.
I know. And it made Natalya look stupid, and then afterwards, like they did the whole thing where Xia Li came out and saved her, and they didn't even give us a good enough reason why she saved her. She just did.
They just said, "Hey, she's saving her. Too bad."
Yeah.
And she's a face.
And it's not like
save.
And it's not even like they were like friends in NXT. If you remember, they hated each other in NXT. Didn't Xia Li like break like Aaliyah's nose at one point or something too? Like I'm pretty sure that happened.
Yeah, she did.
So yeah, this was a pretty
stiff shot or something like that, and like a fucking just their nose exploded.
Is this anywhere on your list? I thought it was bad.
No, I didn't have that. I should
Oh.
have though.
Wait till you see what my flops are.
I've got some good ones.
All right, so here's my number 5. The championship contenders match between Charlotte Flair and Naomi from SmackDown this week. It was pretty much the same match, except Sonya Deville was the referee. What was the point of this match if you were just gonna have Sonya Deville?
I was gonna put that on there too, but I didn't because I had other one.
That could be a dishonorable mention if you want. It's not too late, so.
Yeah, put it there.
Okay.
I was gonna put it somewhere, but
what would you hate worse, this or the Alita Natalia match? Because you can only have 3, so.
probably actually, yeah, I put the Aaliyah match in there because it's just annoying and
Yeah.
it's just like one of those matches that like it's not good enough to be a flop and it's not like
Yeah.
it's just a dishonorable mention.
But yeah, these two are perfectly capable of having a great match. It's just the booking around it really sucked. So Sonya Deville made herself the guest referee, so you knew instantly she was going to interfere. You already knew that was going to happen anyway, so what was the point of even having this match again?
She's a heel. That's why.
And then Charlotte, and then they did the whole thing with a special guest referee where Naomi had Charlotte beat, but Sonya Deville purposely took too long to get in the ring to make the count, and then
yes, of course
they did the Montreal Screwjob finish. Which is like they love doing that finish.
It's been like 18 times in the past like 10 years.
I think the best one was when they did it like right in front of Bret Hart, like in 2017, like when he was right there. Like yeah, great.
What the
great job.
fuck? You want to destroy the relationship anymore?
Yeah, but yeah, so Charlotte Flair ended up winning because Sonya Deville interfered. They still never explained why Sonya Deville is an authority figure, why she hates Nate. Literally every week, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee like, so why does Sonya Deville hate Naomi? Never explained it. This has been going on since October. We're supposed to finally get a match next week. I doubt that match is happening. I don't even think that match is going to happen. There's probably going to be maybe the match itself will happen, but Sonya Deville will say now it's an ODQ match, and then like they're going to have like somebody come out and interfere and like help Sonya Deville win. It's totally happening. This just
because you know why? This is because I'm watching it right now. This is like 2000, 2001 Raw territory.
Yo.
Where every fucking match, if a face did something, the heel would always get the advantage.
Yo.
A face runs out and makes a save for another face who's getting beaten down by 2 heels. Guess what? It's a handicap match against the face that made the save. It's the same fucking thing that I'm seeing then is happening now. I'm like, what the fuck? You haven't changed in fucking 20-something years?
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like this at all. So.
This reminds me so much of William Regal as like the commissioner of the WWF.
But that was actually good though. Like.
It's like kind of like reminding me of like how he would just come out, interject himself, and be like, "Now this match is now a handicap match."
Yeah.
Like I've always hated that.
I know.
Now she's the authority figure, so she can make anything happen.
And why is so?
Now she's a special guest referee. Oh, wait a minute. Now Naomi can't pin her for the win. Now she has to do a submission. Oh, wait, now she can't do a submission.
Yep.
She has to knock her out now.
Sonya Deville being an authority figure doesn't even like she's supposed to be like this MMA fighter and stuff, but she's like afraid of Naomi. Like, why are you afraid of Naomi? Like, you could probably
never explain why she was the authority figure in the first place.
Yeah.
She just showed up and was like, "I'm the authority figure."
Yeah.
Like what? Why? There was
like
no reason for it.
Like you don't see Impact doing that. Like Impact always explains the authority figures.
They've always done it.
Yeah. All right. So what's your?
They come out in a segment.
What's your number 5?
And I'm gonna do mine in no particular order. Actually, I'm gonna save the best 2 for last.
Okay.
But Punk versus Spears on Dynamite this past week.
That's my number 2. That's my number 2.
Like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Yeah.
Is it just to make it that keep Punk strong? Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "You fucking kidding me?" And then I died laughing. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" A guy who barely gets any television time, signed with AEW to be more than just Ty Dillinger in the 10 gimmick, is like, where is he? He's a fucking lackey.
Yeah.
He's worse on the card than he was in WWE. Because he was in WWE, he was feuding with fucking Randy Orton. And what is he doing now? He's the third fucking figure. He's a third person in a feud. that takes all the bumps, takes all the heat, and gets his ass kicked. What's the point? That infuriated me. I was like, he's way too fucking good to be used like that.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
But a lot of people told me this about Sean Spears. I actually always defended AEW because I'm like, well, he's at least being used on Dog. He's in feuds with these types of people. I honestly think, thinking back, now that we've been around, I don't think his career has been the same since the Cody loss.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
Like
Cody buried him.
I would think Cody's the one that buried him because Cody did need to win that match, and he looked good in that match. It's just they didn't have any plans for him afterwards, and then they keep.
That basically it was a burial because there's nothing for him.
And then afterwards, they signed so much top talent that they pretty much had no more. They pretty much couldn't find a spot for him. And then
The glove gimmick.
yeah, and then this is probably the worst thing they've done with him. Like this is nothing different I probably would have seen in WWE. You know,
He's just a goof.
Yeah,
like
he changes.
MJF or Wardlow bail out, he's the one that gets his ass kicked every time.
Yep. The worst part about it too, I don't even think we're talking about. What made it look really bad, CM Punk didn't even come out taped up from the power bombs or anything from the Wardlow match.
He was 100% healthy.
Yeah, like that didn't even make any sense at all.
He not like he just got his ass kicked by Wardlow last week.
Yeah.
He's now Super Punk.
Like I was actually really looking forward to this match. I thought this would be.
I thought it was gonna be decent.
Yeah.
But a fucking 10-second squash match?
Yeah, for the most.
Like, what the fuck? I was like, you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like the guy's on TV wrestling for the first time in months. Months.
Yeah.
And then he gets GTS'd in 10 seconds? I was like, what type of bullshit is that?
I know, yeah.
I was like, that's fucking stupid. Like, he's way too talented to be fucking used like that.
Yeah, I think
being the lackey for the lackey is basically what he is.
I think if when his contract comes up, he should go to Impact. Honestly, like
go somewhere else.
Impact. I think Impact. You know, his wife's at Impact.
No. Oh, and they have lifetime contracts. Remember that? They're family.
Yeah.
They're never gonna let their contracts run out.
Well, let's see what let's see what happens in a month. So.
All the people that are going to be free agents within the next few weeks.
Yep. So
I thought they were family. I thought they had lifetime contracts.
So yeah, let's get to my number 4. Omos versus Reggie from Raw this week. That was awful. Here's what the match was. The 24/7 crew, which was R-Truth, Tamina, and Tozawa, came out and tried to beat Dana Brooke for the 24/7 belt. Almost tried to go off the top. He got caught into like a choke bomb, and that was the match. Like that was it. Like, how does this help Almost improve? He can't. Like he legit did 2 things in this match. This actually could have been like a fun. Like I'm not saying it was always going to be a squash, but this actually could have been something like where like Reggie continuously outquicked him and then Almost finally caught him. Like I wasn't expecting it to be like a real match, but I didn't expect this shit. Like I wanted something entertaining out of this. Like
that's on my worst match of the week. That's my worst match of the week.
Yeah, I hated this a lot because while I expected the match to be bad, like this was just crap. What's your number 4?
Okay. So, Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro and Brooks and Jensen backstage.
Yeah, that was bad too.
I was like, this is the worst fucking segment I think I've ever seen in my life. It was so awkward. It wasn't like awkward like a Kurt Angle, like Virgin Angle awkward. In like 2000, 2001, where he was like really awkward and uncomfortable, but it was funny. This is like just cringe.
Yeah, it was very cringy.
And like the lines didn't make any sense.
Yep.
And like Brooks kept on like fumbling over. No, Jensen was fumbling all over his words.
Yeah, I don't even. So I think that was part of the script too. I don't think he was actually messing up.
It was just bad. It was just awful. I'm just gonna call him fucking Buchanan because it's Bill Buchanan's son.
Yeah, this was
It was awful.
That was your number 4. So my number 3. I kind of lumped these together just because they were both in the same segment pretty much. Was the opening segment and the women's tag match from Raw this week with Becky Lynch and Doudrop versus Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan. The promo segment first was bad. Becky Lynch is so we've talked about this before. Is so miscast as a heel.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And they haven't made any attempts to change.
And she talked about how she wants to face Doudrop for the title. Doudrop comes out, and the dynamics of this feud so off because it's heel versus heel, so it's really terrible. And Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan came out, talked about how they were going to win the Royal Rumble match. Becky Lynch tried to take credit for Doudrop, getting the number 1 contender shot, which is true, which is actually true, and Doudrop doesn't even get it.
Stupid.
The tag match they had was bad, and the finish really sucked. So Becky Lynch hit the manhandle slam, and Doudrop attacks Becky. She forgot she wasn't the legal person in the match, so that was bad. And then she got the pin off Becky. If you think about it, this was basically Triple H versus Booker T, where Becky had Liv Morgan pinned for basically a 20 count. That's terrible. And then she laid out Becky afterwards. The thing that sucks about this all is the fact that they're going to go through with this match. This match is going to be terrible at the Rumble. Doudrop's terrible. She's always been terrible. She gets gassed so easily in the ring. And it's probably a weight thing, but I've seen people who weigh I know we're going to get hate for this, but I'm saying it anyways, who weigh the same amount as her, like AC Romero weighs probably more than her, and he doesn't get nearly as gassed as she does sometimes in the ring. He actually moves really well, and he doesn't get gassed. This match is gonna be terrible at the Rumble, and I can't believe they're gonna go through with this match.
It's gonna be awful.
I understand they wanted to do something different. I think it honestly exposes the Raw Women's division that they have nobody to face Becky Lynch for this title.
Yeah, exactly.
They had someone, but now they screwed that up too. So.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Is this anywhere on your list?
No, it's not. Surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm surprised. What's your number 3?
Finn Balor versus Austin Theory on Raw.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting this there too.
You couldn't have anyone else do that?
Yeah.
But I read an article say they gave up on Finn Balor already, so no fucking surprises jobbing to Austin Theory.
You know what the worst part about this is Finn Balor's legit back in the same spot that he was in right before he went back to NXT. Pretty much the exact same place.
Yep. It's basically cut and dry, besides being fucking Mr. 810, whatever his nickname was.
Yeah.
Because he always come on after the first segment. Mr. 820.
Yeah.
He would always come on after the first segment.
This is just... I hear too he's trying... And this might be misinformation that they blocked him from going to AEW now too. So... I don't understand why they're using Finn Balor like this. It seems like after he stopped feuding with Roma, they just gave up on him. That's it. You're done.
Yeah, they're moving him into a fucking squash match feud.
And now he's they took the one thing that was special away from him, that he was undefeated as the Demon. Now he's not special anymore.
He's not special. He's just Finn Balor.
I know. At NXT, in NXT, I know he was probably the biggest star there, but they still made him feel special. The thing was, he was never the Demon either in NXT. I don't think he did the Demon gimmick once in NXT, and he was so special.
Yeah, in that second round, he didn't do it one time.
Yeah.
The last time he did it in NXT was 2015, probably?
2016.
16, yeah.
Because he had the cage match.
It was against Joe, right?
Yeah, he had the cage match with Joe, yeah. Just the way Finn Balor's being used is awful. However, though, the one thing that I think the reason I didn't put this on my list was just because of that Vince segment backstage. I know where Vince said he was going to beat the shit out of him if he didn't win this match.
Yeah, he was going to fucking kill him.
I thought that was hilarious. So.
That was so funny.
In a sense, it kind of made sense for it in a way to be. I just wouldn't have done it with Finn Balor in a way to be a squash because he was fucking wrestling out of fear probably. So.
Yeah. Could have done it with a jobber.
I know. Do it
there. Enhancement talent. Someone. Local guy. Who cares? Not Finn Balor.
Yeah, not Finn Balor.
That's what I should be doing.
All right, my number two. That's not even on my list because I thought there was things that sucked worse than that. My number two was CM Punk versus Shawn Spears, but we've already gone over that. So, what's your number two?
Let's see. One, two. Oh, Sting and Darby versus the Acclaimed.
I actually like that. I thought that was decent.
My point is, not a bad match. Just doesn't belong in the main event.
That's fair. I would have
Didn't think
put.
it belonged in the main event. I saw that and I was like, what? Like, why is that the main event? That's like a middle of the that's like a 9 o'clock match.
Yeah, I would have put.
That's not main event.
I'm trying to remember what was on the show this week because I
It
would have put.
was a squash match. It
Um,
was who
I actually
else?
no, I would have put that mixed tag in the main event. That's what I would have put in the main event. I would have put that in the main event.
Yeah, that wasn't that the opener.
Yeah, well, it was like the first match on the show. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. That should have been the main event. That had way much more story behind it.
it's, I know they could say because they wanted to use that to set up Adam Cole's Thin Later and all that type of stuff, but you could have done like an exclusive on that back, where like you cut the promo backstage and you had to go online and find it. That way it could be that way, or like you could have had him cut that promo on Rampage or something.
Yeah, exactly for Rampage.
Yeah,
It was
I,
Mox and then it was the tag.
but I mean other than that, I enjoyed the. I can't really think of it. I don't have any complaints about the main event. They really got Darby over in that match too, where because usually if they would have like if it was the book and you would expect like Sting to be the one taken out and Darby get the one to get the heat and Sting would be the one that comes out and make the save. I like that they changed it up because it actually
They did, yeah. That's really, I like that.
I thought Darby got like a mass because it actually gets Darby over more that he was the one that kind of had to come out and make the save. So
yeah,
I like that match though. I mean, maybe I wouldn't have put it in the main event, but
yeah. I mean, it wasn't a bad match.
yeah,
They kind of did like the reverse psychology, and it's always like the older guy makes the
yeah,
save instead of the younger guy. But like that, I just don't think that should have been the opening match.
yeah, for sure.
I
Um,
just don't think that should have been the main.
this goes with that segment though. Apparently, Stin thinks it's 2002. I don't know if you saw that. He thinks it's 2002, not 2020. You saw that, right?
Yeah,
you think,
maybe. Fucking wish.
um, so my number one. Now, tell me this isn't. This is. I know this is probably the worst thing, just because it makes me worried the most, and I really just hate it. And you may disagree with me. Is Walter's new name is Gunther now? I hate this so much. Now this may not change his booking. That's said that we have to wait to be seen on that. But I don't know why he just couldn't keep his name. That was just terrible. The fact it was also the last. I feel like too, if it wasn't the last thing that happened in NXT, like we had just seen like this great match, and all of a sudden like he was Gunther. You could just tell it did not go over well too, because afterwards they tried to do this big blow to kind of make people forget about it too. But I think it's pretty quiet after that. I mean,
it was going to be something that was different than that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Gunther Stark, which is like a Nazi general.
Yeah,
but instead they changed it to just Gunther.
I just hate this so like. One, two. Why does he want to change his name this week? He was literally fine being Walter not last week, but 2 weeks ago.
And, on the fucking YouTube page, it says Walter.
Yeah, so it's like
I just looked it up this morning. It says Walter versus Roderick Strong.
I hated this so much because one, what you've now done is you made people instantly worried about how Walter's gonna be booked on the main roster. Because remember what happened to the Viking Experience. Oh wait, not Viking Experience, Viking Raiders. It ruined the main roster one like right away.
Yeah, that was bad.
This might be even worse because Walter's a star, and this is probably you're already setting the precedent because everyone is already worried enough with Vince booking NXT, and this doesn't help people's argument against it. Like, if I try to fight people to watch NXT, they're gonna point to this moment as like a Vince. Like, this was a terrible decision.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it doesn't really bother me. It was strange when I first heard it, but I'm like, nothing about him has changed.
Yeah,
he's still the same person. He's still Walter. That's never going to change. But
this is probably going to have. This is probably going to have to. We'll have to wait and see on this one because while he's still the same person, if this
they
week,
might do it for like a 1 to 2 week thing and then realize they made a mistake and then go back to calling him Walter again.
Yeah. I think
Because they've done that before.
yeah, I think the biggest thing we'll have to wait and see on is what he's like the next couple of weeks. If he's still the same gimmick, then it won't be that bad. Because it was bad with the Viking. What was bad about the Viking Raiders is they became a completely different gimmick on the main roster than they were in NXT. And the reason why it sucked for the Viking Raiders is we had just seen them in NXT, like not like literally legit not that long before that. So,
Yeah,
um,
exactly. It's like the NXT before.
well, no, remember they were on like the Takeover before.
Takeover, yep.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
like that
Yep.
weekend, and then they showed up as the Viking experience. So we'll have to wait and see on this one. But I think it was just my number one because it was just so baffling to me. So,
Yeah,
um,
surprising, definitely. It was like, well, I was like, well, I'm like, why? I'm like, Gunther. Like, who the fuck's Gunther?
yeah, and that's what they call him now in the ads now too. They call him Gunther now. So we'll have to wait and see. What's your number one?
My this is like this is personal. Cody Rhodes' promo on Dynamite
I actually like.
was I fucking hated that with a burning passion.
I actually like this promo
It
on Dynamite this week.
it was rambly. It didn't make any fucking sense. Once again, Cody has to fit in a WWE reference somewhere with the fucking name change and everything. Doesn't need to be in the promo, but it is. He if he had just stuck to one thing, his match against Sammy and his contract status, I would have been fine. But it just went like off the fucking rails. He started talking about like Brody King being Brody and having the balls to do that, and then waiting 10 years for Brody to debut in AEW. Like it just went all over the fucking place. It was and then he talked about like his contract status, which I was fine with. Like
Yeah,
he was like, it wasn't the contract that I wanted, and I was like, that's fine. Talk about that. But then he was like, I'm never gonna turn heel because of the fans. I love my fans. I'm like, oh my god, just shut up.
I enjoyed his promo actually. I liked how he fit in. Basically how everyone talked about the Forbidden Door. And if you think about it, Cody was one of the first people that entered the Forbidden
I
Door
hated that too.
because he was
I hated
working
that.
because he was working everywhere. I like how they're going with the fact that is he going to turn heel eventually? I don't know, but I like that he's given a reason why he's not turning heel because at least they're not ignoring it. Like remember with John Cena, they always ignore the fact that the fans hated him
Yeah.
until they embraced the hate storyline. They always like Jerry the Kid Long would be like, so why are fans booing him? What are you doing? Like it's like you couldn't boo John Cena. So um,
just personally, I hated that. I just didn't
I
like it
didn't.
at all because it's like it was just way too rambly and it just was all over the place.
Yeah.
He started bringing up shit that didn't have to do with the match against Sammy Guevara. Forbidden Door didn't have anything to do with Sammy Guevara. His contract status kind of had something to do with Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, because
Uh, Brody King and Brody had nothing to do with the match at all.
I just didn't hate the promo. I thought the content was actually pretty decent, so I didn't hate the promo. So
I
um,
didn't know Cody.
let's get to the best now. We did the negatives, and we'll go back to the negatives at the end when we talk about worst and best of and all that type of stuff. Let's get to the best moments of the week. We'll start with the honorable mentions. My first honorable mention was the Alpha Academy graduation ceremony from
I
Raw
had
this
that
week.
one too. I have that one too. I love
Yeah,
that.
honorable mention, or is it on your like top five?
It, it's on. Is this? Yeah, it's on my tops.
So like, original it was a good segment. It was going fine originally. It was what you would expect from like a heel graduation ceremony. Otis cut like a decent promo. It really sucks that they've like diminished Otis and stuff because like he's just a generic big man now and stuff. But then I think once Riddle came out, then the segment just got like S rank segment. He comes out with the graduation robe,
Oh,
and
that was funny. That was so fucking funny.
he thinks that, like he's graduated and he's talking about all the best times they've had together. And Chad Gable's calling him an idiot, saying that you didn't graduate, we graduated, you ruined our graduation ceremony. And Matt Riddle's asking for a rematch for the Raw Tag Team titles. and Chad Gable was telling him to define rematch, and he said, "Isn't that when you relight something?" And everyone thought it was a weed. I was like, I'm just talking about a candle, bro, just a candle." It was great. And then he said Chad Gable said the only way you're gonna get your rematch is if you win the Alpha Academy trivia questions. And the look on Otis's face when he had to take that made sense because everyone knows Otis isn't the smartest person. So I like that they actually had Otis look worried about that.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then Matt Riddle was making all types of reference to quiz shows like spin the wheel, make the deal, and all this type of stuff. And eventually, they just get pissed and go to attack Riddle. And Randy Orton came up from behind and hit an RKO. And I like that Randy Orton was there because I thought Matt Riddle was just going into business for himself type of thing. But I actually like that Randy Orton was in on it. And then what really made this segment, and then afterwards, Riddle hit a knee on Otis, which that didn't look the best. Like he got in the ring, and then Riddle hit the knee, and it just looked weird. But then afterwards, what really made this segment, I did not think this was going to happen, was Randy Orton actually put the freaking graduation robe on. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that happened. Like this was a hell of a.
Awesome.
This was a hell of a segment, and I really enjoyed this. And I like that they're still going with the tag team, and I can't wait to see the Alpha Academy trivia questions and stuff next week. That's going to be awesome. Anything you want to talk about this segment?
It was a great segment.
Yeah.
It kept this feud going.
Yep.
And it just progressed the feud. That's all that you really asked for.
And it progresses, because Riddle and Orton are probably breaking up soon as a tag team, so it progresses that. Which kind of, I kind of don't really want them to break up because the thing I'm worried about is once they break up as a tag team, that the tag division is just going to be nothing. Like, it's just going to be irrelevant afterwards, pretty much. So, but I hope not. So we'll see. What's one of your honorable mentions?
I really like this, but like a lot of people probably won't. But Malik Blade and Idris Enofe versus Phantasma on NXT 2.0.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. Yeah,
it was really good. I really like that tag team. I really like Blade and Enofe.
Yeah, they're good.
I really like them. They're kind of that really like underdog babyface role, and the crowd loves them too.
Yeah,
that's like one of my dark my predictions to win the fucking the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll win it, but I think they're gonna get maybe to the finals of the tournament. They're gonna be like that dark horse pick that you didn't expect to get to the finals of the tournament, which they've always done that in Dusty Tag. Well, they'll have like a team you don't expect to go as far as they're gonna go in the tournament. An example I can think of was I'm trying to think because they've done a lot of these when the Revival became a tag team like originally in the tournament. They made it all the way to the finals and stuff like that. If you remember too, one of the teams the Revival knocked out of the tournament were like the tag champs too. So I like that they did. I like that they did this with Malik Blade and the thing that really made this too was this also furthers the feud between Braun Breaker and Santos Escobar. Because he's the one that pretty much cost them the tournament too. So I like that too. The thing I don't like about it is the fact that I get it. Is the fact that that's going to be Braun Breaker's first feud for the title. I would have liked to have seen somebody else. But
that seems like a further down the line type of person.
Yeah, I would have done like Roderick Strong or something first because I think he needs to have like a banger of a match because he should face someone like from the old NXT first just because the only time I've really seen him wrestle was when he fought Ciampa, so I don't know how good he actually is. Like I don't know if that was all Ciampa that really got it out of him. So
yeah.
I think they should have him face people that are like really experienced. Santos Escobar's not the best wrestler for him to probably face first because I don't think Santos. He's not a bad wrestler, but I don't think he's gonna get the best match out of Braun Breaker. Like I think Roderick Strong would get the better match, or Walter. But Walter, you probably want to save for way down the line too, though.
Oh yeah,
So,
well, yeah, definitely, yeah.
uh, but yeah, I like that match too, though. Then we had this is mainly honorable mentions just because it makes you have feel good moments. Was the match on Rampage this week between John Moxley and Ethan Page? We'll talk about this more later. That's a bit of a spoiler of what's up in the top 5. But I'm so happy to see Moxley back. He looks great.
That's it. That's in my tops.
Yeah, John Moxley and Ethan Page. I thought it was the perfect first opponent for John Moxley to have back, and I like the way they structured this match. Where even though he looked great, they obviously had him like not do as well at first because he's been out of the ring for so long. So they did a thing where like he struggled at first to get an advantage on Ethan Page. And I mean, he just looked really great in this match. He ended up getting the win with a bulldog choke, which I love that he wins the matches that way now. And he also didn't make Ethan Page tap out. He made him pass out, which I thought made Ethan Page look tough. But the fact that he didn't give up, so I thought this was the best of both worlds. And I think that made this really get the honorable mentions. Is now we're gonna finally get the match. We're getting Moxley versus Bryan Danielson, and this is gonna be even better now because. Bryan Danielson's a heel. Like I think it would have been great as a face versus face, but I think Bryan Danielson being a heel is going to make this match even better. And I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, but I would like I know because I was pretty vocal about the Jeff Hardy thing. I think they kind of have to mention. They should mention the fact that Moxley went away not to beat addiction, but because he was like you don't have to necessarily mention the fact about his addiction, but just have him mention the fact that he went away because he was afraid to face Bryan Danielson. Like I think he should mention that.
Yeah, because he's a heel now. Yeah.
And it's not technically mentioning his addiction. He's just mentioning the fact that you were afraid to face me. Like that's not really mentioning addiction, really. So
yeah,
I think this is gonna, and I think Bryan Danielson and John Moxley are gonna put on a banger of a match. And I'm really excited about it.
We'll see what it's like outside of the WWE structure.
Yeah, I don't think they actually haven't. I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong too. I don't actually think they've had a match with each other since Moxley was in the Shield actually.
Yeah.
So that would even be interesting too because they haven't because I think pretty much when Moxley went out on his own, Bryan got hurt. So.
Yeah.
So this is
Bryan was very, very much so retired.
And by the time Bryan returned, Moxley was hurt and then left the company when Bryan was already like they haven't wrestled each other in 7 years. So
yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, so I'm actually really looking forward to this. Is this anywhere? You don't watch Rampage, I'd imagine this isn't anywhere on your list. So
I'm gonna lump it in. It's on my tops. The match and the return.
Yeah.
Just lump them into one. That was on my tops.
Okay. Well, what's your other honorable mention?
I did this because I'm a sucker for this guy, and I fucking both of them. I think the feud has been fucking funny. But Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn on SmackDown.
Yes.
Dying. Oh, I loved it because I love Johnny Knoxville and I love Sami Zayn.
And again, everyone thinks Sami Zayn's the bad guy here. He's the good guy. He's just trying to show people that it's dangerous to do this type of stuff. And who's to say that thing wasn't on, by the way? Maybe do you think Sami Zayn would lie about something like that? He would not lie about that.
Hell yeah.
No, he wouldn't.
It just makes me want to go see the new Jackass movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it anyways, but
I am going to too. I want to see it so bad.
Yeah,
it's so fucking funny. I love the fact that Johnny Knoxville is in the Royal Rumble. I fucking love it.
I'm kind of scared for his health. I think he's gonna do something crazy in that match. Like he's gonna fucking die in that match.
The guy takes fucking shots to the head on the regular.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done some stupid ass shit.
And I think the perfect thing about this too is you could Sami Zayn you couldn't if you threw anybody else other than Sami Zayn in this segment it would have been sucked. Like Sami Zayn was perfect in this segment.
It's perfect because he has the goofiness in him.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to look like a fool. Like I think everyone
to put over someone like Johnny Knoxville. Like
everyone that's probably everyone that craps on WWE probably for the way he's booked. I don't think he minds. I think he likes doing this stuff. So
yeah. He even said because he just resigned a few days ago.
Yeah.
He even said he was happy.
Yeah. He looks
Both
happy.
him and Kevin are happy to be where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, I think I also think of this too. Like, as much as it would have been cool to see Sammy and Sami Zayn can't really go back to being El Generico either. So what do you do with Sami Zayn outside of WWE? Because he can't be Sami Zayn because they don't own
Yeah,
that,
because
and he can't
they
go
don't own
back.
the.
He can't go back to being El Generico because everyone knows that Sami Zayn. And didn't El Generico like never talk? Like you can't have Sami Zayn not talk anymore. Like that's legit the thing.
Yeah, that I don't even know what they do.
And also
Would
too,
they just call him fucking Generico
yeah.
and not
Also,
have him wear the mask?
also the
That would
thing that
ruin the Generico gimmick.
I love Sami Zayn too, but the thing is too, like everyone has to remember too, like AEW goes hardcore on the. I don't think Sami Zayn could do an AEW match like every week because that has had two. Like if this was Sami Zayn in 2014, 2015 ish, I would say sure. But this is the Sami Zayn that's had two shoulder surgeries,
Yeah.
and you know, like think about it, he doesn't wrestle that. He really doesn't wrestle that much. Like
Yeah, he really doesn't. And
yeah.
the Royal Rumble is probably the safest match for him to be in.
Like I think the last match I think he wrestled where he went like hardcore that I remember was probably that ladder match with AJ and Jeff Hardy probably.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, so but I love that segment too. And then my other honorable mention, my last one is Seth frickin' Rollins and Kevin Owens versus the Usos on SmackDown this week. Uh, that was a hell of a match.
That's on my tops.
Uh, They set this match up earlier in the show where if Seth and Kevin Owens won, the Usos were banned from ringside from the WWE Universal Championship match, and if the Usos won, Seth gave up his title match. It was kind of weird a little bit that Kevin Owens was a face on SmackDown, but it kind of worked since he was with Seth Rollins, and it's Kevin Owens is so talented he made it kind of work.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they both technically on like Seth Rollins is technically a face right now,
yeah, Seth's definitely a face.
but
Kevin
the
Owens was
gimmick didn't change. He didn't go
yeah.
back to being like the Kingslayer type Seth Rollins or the Beast Slayer.
Yeah, it was kind of the thing was weird about was Kevin Owens was like definitely a heel on Raw, like against
Mm-hmm.
Damian Priest. So that
He's a tweener now. He's more of a
yeah,
tweener, but like he's not like a full fledged like asshole heel.
I
He's more of
want
a tweener, but he definitely leans more babyface
yeah,
though.
I wonder though if he's gonna become full heel, like if he's gonna cost Seth Rollins the match at the Royal Rumble. That'd be interesting. But anyhow,
It could be.
this match was very good though. It had a great high stakes behind it. They both it made sense for Kevin Owens to be in the match considering the fact that he's had issues in the past with Roman Reigns legit a year ago around this time.
Yeah.
And it made sense that he would want to get the Usos out of there considering the fact that the Usos have screwed Kevin Owens in the past out of the Universal Championship. The match was just very good. I love that new finish that Seth Rollins has added. I know he's probably had it for a while, but this is the first time I've really seen it. That rolling fist that he does now, I think, is really fits him. I really like that.
Yeah,
What
does,
mainly
yeah.
makes this is the crowd. The crowd was the crowd was humming along to his new theme. Like that was awesome. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and typically I don't like it when matches end on a DQ, but I thought it made sense here because Roman Reigns knew the Usos weren't winning anyway, so he's like, shit, well, fuck this, I'm just gonna go get the last laugh. And I like that he just did the Superman punch and he didn't even look at Seth Rollins afterwards. I thought that was great. I'm really looking forward to this match at the Rumble. I think this is gonna be a hell of a match.
It's
And I
going to be a
love
great match.
and I love the fact that they mentioned the fact you really didn't think about this was the fact that Roman Reigns has never beaten Seth Rollins like in a big time match. Seth has gotten the
Nope.
upper hand every time. I
Yep.
didn't even.
Every time.
But I like how they mentioned that this is a different Roman Reigns that faced Seth Rollins this time than what faced him before. Because obviously,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited about this. This is probably my favorite feud in all of wrestling right now. So
That's great. That's fantastic.
yeah. So what's your honorable
And
mention?
other way around too, because it's always been Seth as the heel
Yeah,
and Roman was the face. Now it's different.
yeah. So um, so what's your other honorable mention? Your last one.
It's kind of lame, but LA Knight's return.
Yeah.
NXT. I liked it. He's super babyface now.
Yep.
Like, and I love it. He cut a fantastic promo on Waller, on Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
I like that feed a lot. I didn't know who the fuck Grayson Waller was before. He was just like some random dude from Australia to me. I had no idea
Yeah.
who he was. And he's really impressed me a lot. He's very charismatic. He's a very hateable person.
Yep.
And it just works too because in this role, LA Knight is kind of like The Rock
Yeah.
in a way. Where it's like he's super over, cuts a damn good promo, and is fantastic in the ring.
Yeah. And I love how they really extended this feud now because now, Grayson Waller got a restraining order against him, against LA Knight, so now he can't uh, I forget because they just did the same storyline at NWA, and I forget how much. I think he can't be like 50 miles.
So it's like 20 feet or 50 feet away
Yeah,
from or something like that.
something like that. And I love too how like LA Knight made him choose. He can either get in the ring and get his ass kicked by him, or get his ass kicked by Dexter Loomis. I thought that was even a great
And he
part of the
chose
thing.
Loomis.
So that gets LA Knight over more. The fact that he's willing to face Dexter Loomis over LA Knight, like that gets him over as like a threat.
Yeah.
And I love the fact too, because this is a shot at AJ, kayfabe wise, that he legit has a heavy, just like AJ Styles did, like not that long ago.
I know,
Like,
yeah. That is true. He does have a heavy now, just like AJ did.
yeah. So it's like that's hilarious. Yeah. So let's get to our tops now. My number 5 is the match between Walter and Roderick Strong in NXT last week. That was a fucking banger of a match.
I didn't even have that on there.
Yeah, I loved it because
That's on the best of the week for me.
Okay, but yeah, I loved it because it was Walter. We never saw these guys really wrestle one-on-one because Walter was always in the UK, and by the time they could have had a one-on-one match, probably the pandemic hit, so we've never seen these guys go head-to-head. And I loved how the match was structured, where Roderick Strong would get a little bit of offense in, but Walter would always cut him off, which was believable.
Yes, because Walter's a fucking machine.
And Roderick Strong, the only way he really got an advantage on him is if it was cheated involved, or if he had to do like high, quick-hitted offense. The freaking superplex that he hit from not the apron, from the top turnbuckles or whatever, on Walter looked impressive as hell. And I love that Walter just hit one powerbomb. That was it, and he just won. Like there was no 30,000 finisher kick.
Yeah. Doesn't need 4 power bombs and then get a quick roll up.
Yeah. So
need that.
I really enjoyed the hell out of this match. This is probably Walter's last match as Walter, so it's obviously something to enjoy as well. So I thought this was a hell of a match. This is like this is the second time one of Walter's matches has made top 5. Obviously his last match in the UK last week was there. Now this is here. So keep doing what you're doing, Walter. Oh, I'm sorry, he doesn't exist anymore. Gunther, keep doing what you're doing. Walter doesn't exist.
He's dead.
Yeah.
It's Gunther now.
So yeah, what's your number 5?
Jonathan Gresham versus Steve Macklin from Impact.
Oh yeah, I had this on my list up until SmackDown this week.
Great match.
Yeah.
You really can't go wrong. Steve Macklin's really someone who I thought was trash because he was just a job guy.
Yeah.
For the longest time, and then he got into the Forgotten Sons team, and was good but not great. He was okay, and then he goes to Impact and has a bunch of great matches.
Yeah.
And of course, we know the talent the fucking Jonathan Gresham is. He's fantastic. He's RH champion for a reason. He's a fucking former PR champion, or is the current PR champion of Ring of Honor.
Former.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's just fantastic.
Yeah,
really good. I really liked it.
I even enjoyed the pure. I think the pure wool step even added to it because I was kind of worried because who are you gonna have lose? Because Steve Macklin just lost his first big match against Trey Miguel for the X Division title, and the pure rules then added to it because because he couldn't use the rope break anymore, and the only way Gresham actually won the match was because he used that stipulation because he held the rope so that way Macklin would get his shoulders counted down. So Steve Macklin didn't look weak by losing. And they just had a really great match together. I even love how they furthered the ROH invasion group where they had the ROH 5 watching from the skybox, and they left after the match. They ended up coming back later in the night, but and I like the two that I like what I like about this ROH invasion the most. I talked about this with James last week. Is not everyone in ROH is in on this invasion. Like Jonathan Gresham's not in on it. Roxy, former ROH Women's Champion's not in on it. Might not be in on it now because if she goes to WWE.
Yeah. Seems likely they're very interested.
Yeah, that's probably why she lost the belt this recently.
That's why I'm thinking so too.
And I just enjoyed the hell out of this match. Typically, I don't like it when like I don't like the Heritage Cup rules. I think those are trash. The TV title rules. I love the Pure rules. I think it actually adds something different, and it doesn't ruin the match enough. Like the Heritage Cup, why I don't like those rules is because it's like 6 3-minute rounds, and every time you get into the match, they have to freaking take a break from the match. So
they're playing on like the old school style of English wrestling.
Yeah, so like if it was
7 or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the Pure rules. And yeah, the thing that sucked about it is I just watched that Terminus show recently, and Terminus freaking spoiled this match. Like this hadn't aired yet, and freaking Terminus spoiled it. Like they said, Jonathan Gresham, he just defended his title recently against Steve Macklin. I'm like, the fuck, that hasn't aired yet. Like I'd be pissed if I was
they fucked up on that one.
Yeah, I'd be like Impact should have been fucking pissed. If I was Impact, I would not send my talent over there anymore for my fucking shows just to fucking show them.
Just to have the fucking match be spoiled.
Yeah, like what if that was like one of the matches I was looking forward to? Like
it's a highlight match basically.
Yeah. So I was even thinking like I don't watch all the shows live, but I'm like, wait, that hasn't aired yet. So it's like you could tell but anyhow, that's a different problem, but I love that match. I thought that was great. If I didn't see Rampage or SmackDown this week, that would have been on the list. Let's get to number 4. And that was the mixed tag this week between Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. I thought that was a hell of a match.
Yeah, I thought about putting it on there instead of the mixed tag.
Yeah.
Instead of the singles match.
Adam Cole and I love the way they structured this match. I love how Chris Statlander, Britt Baker was a fade to face Chris Statlander, and vice versa for Adam Cole. The altercation between Orange Cassidy and and Britt Baker was pretty awesome. Where he went to do the super kick after doing those Orange Cassidy kicks, and Britt Baker just stomped on his foot. I thought that was funny. Obviously we had a Panama Sunrise on the ramp by Britt Baker, and they just really went all out for this match. And obviously the end, I love how they had Britt Baker go through the table and Adam Cole get pissed and still get the win. He had to cheat to get the win. And it was a way for Adam Cole to win, but to still continue the feud because Adam Cole's pissed that his wife got, as well as his girlfriend got put through the table. But it's kind of his fault because he introduced the table anyways. But I liked how they used that to set up another match, and I think obviously what's going to happen in the Lights Out match is it's a way for Adam Cole to take a loss, but then he's going to say, but it doesn't go on my record, so I'm still undefeated in AEW. Yeah. So, why do I feel like I feel like they're going to do the stupid thing again though, where like Orange Cassidy's going to win, but Adam Cole's going to get a world title shot too, and they're going to do that again. Remember that happened last year with his girlfriend. She fucking lost the Lights Out match, but got a title match somehow. So,
that was stupid.
I think if it happens again, it's going to be better because Adam Cole will be better because they care more about the men's division, so they're going to explain it better. I know you're going to hate me, but it's true. That's going to happen. They're going to explain it better this time because they don't care about the women's division. So they don't. So they're going to explain it better this time because it's the world title match. So that's why they're going to explain it better. But anyhow, that mixed tag was ruled. And you know what else this mixed tag set up? It set up even better Layla Hirsch's heel turn on later in the night. So when she turned on when she beat the crap out of Chris Statlander, so it even set that up even later. Because then she used that to kind of put down Chris Statlander later in the show. So I like that as well. Is this on your list anywhere or no?
No, it wasn't. I was gonna put that on. I was gonna put that in there over the ROH Championship match, but I didn't.
Oh, what's your number 4 then?
This one is like more of like a holy shit for me, but like Charlie Haas versus Josh Alexander.
Yeah, that was good too.
That's fucking Charlie fucking Haas. Like,
Yeah,
holy shit.
I know. I haven't seen him wrestle since like he was in WWE either.
It's been a long time.
Was the last time he was in WWE? Like 2009, right? Because I remember they.
Probably. I would say roughly around there.
So I remember they reformed the world's greatest tag team like right before he was released. So um, I just couldn't
It had to
believe.
have
Yeah, I couldn't
been
believe it.
2009.
I just couldn't believe it. And it, the match actually was really damn good. If the match had probably happened like maybe 10 years ago, it'd probably be a little bit better. Maybe not because Josh Alexander wouldn't be as good either. But if the match had happened when Charlie Haas was in his prime, this would have been even better. But this was pretty damn good. I was shocked it was the main event at first, just because you know I thought that'd be like the opening match on the show. But at first I was thinking like, why is this the main event? Just in terms of like, I was expecting to do something big with this ROH invasion, because Chris Sabin was on commentary for this. So I'm like, okay, so is Chris Sabin gonna reveal that he was the leader of the ROH invasion? I don't think that's gonna happen now because now they've attacked him. Because if Chris Sabin was gonna join, he would have joined on this show. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
I also don't know if I'm liking the fact that they're gonna put Josh Alexander in that feud because that's kind of a double-edged sword because no one because the ROH invaders can't lose that, but also Josh Alexander, you really need to build him up to face moves for the title, and he can't lose that. Like I felt like they should have kept Josh Alexander out of that feud because now it's kind of like they both kind of can't lose type of deal.
Yeah, exactly. They can't lose. They can. None of them. Neither of them can afford a loss.
Yeah. I will say this too. I mean I think it makes sense because it's also kind of weird that PCO's with them. He just kind of seems like an odd fit for that group. Like, I understand like Vincent, Mike Bennett, and Matt Taven because they were the Kingdom, but PCO just doesn't fit. He just seems like an odd fit for that group. It's just weird.
Yeah, because they're all both of them. Bennett, Taven, and Vincent were all in different incarnations of the kingdom.
Yeah, but like the only other person that could invade is Adam Cole, but that partnership's not really a thing anymore. So
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah.
he's not really in LOH. He's not really in LOH right now, so it's like that won't really work. Because Adam Cole was in an incarnation of the Kingdom at one point. So, um, anyhow, I still enjoyed that. I just couldn't believe it was. I still couldn't believe that Charlie Haas wrestled in 2022. Like,
I know it's fucking crazy.
yeah, he looked really good too. I hope this isn't the last match he has. I hope he has like a couple more matches in him. Like, I think he should have one of the matches be with one of those ROH 5 to really put them over one last time. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
all right. So yeah, let's get to my number 3, and it's the video package they aired this week on Raw with Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. It showed how they rose up in the WWE, and it showed just pretty much everything about the feud, all their accolades and everything. Um, and I really enjoyed that. It was just a hell of a video package. It's one of the things I can't do justice to. You just got to go watch it. It was a nice way to fill the feud without having Brock be on, and yeah, it's just crazy. Like they both pretty much achieved the same things, but one of them's been on like a higher stage than the other. Where Brock's dominated the MMA world in the UFC, while Bobby Lashley's done it smaller in Bellator. So I kind of enjoy this because anytime it shows that anytime that Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar did the same sport, one wasn't theirs and stuff like that. Um, so I enjoyed the hell out of this. It really got me excited for the match, and I think the weigh-in's going to be even better too.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be awesome.
Is this anywhere on your list?
No, it wasn't.
right.
surprisingly.
So what's your number 3 then?
The other three were yours.
Oh, okay.
The Rollins, Owens versus the Usos, Moxley's return in the
Okay.
match, and the Dark Ape Rose ceremonies.
All right. So yeah, I'll just end off the tops then. Um, my number 2 was the Bloodline acknowledged Roman Reigns from SmackDown last week. They had a big ceremony because Roman Reigns is now the longest reigning Universal Champion in history, which is crazy because, um, like, he's been a champion that's had this long title reign and has been on TV every week. Like, when Brock had his longest reigning Universal title reign, he was on TV like legit. One of the storylines was that he didn't want to be on TV. So it's like, um, it's crazy too. Like, Roman, they found a way to get Roman on TV, but Roman doesn't also wrestle every week. I think Roman wrestles I think the only time he's really wrestled on SmackDown was like when he fought Montez Ford a while back.
That was a long time
And
ago.
it was like a big deal. So it's like it was crazy. They did like a nice little video package for him where they showed all the moments that he's had as Universal Champion. It's also kind of crazy because how much the company like he was the champion like when the Thunderdome was going on. Like it's just
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's crazy to see like that. It's just crazy to see that video package, and so much has changed since he's first saw. Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt were in the company. Notice who they showed in that video package was Bryan Danielson because they wouldn't have done
Yeah.
that. They wouldn't have done that a year ago.
No, they wouldn't have.
And that either means a partnership's coming or that WWE and Bryan Danielson are just such on good terms. They're fine with showing them. So. And afterwards, I love how what was funny about this. I even love this about it. I think this ended up happening was Roman Reigns was asking for the mic, and I think it was Jimmy Uso wasn't even paying attention. So he's like, I think that was I don't think that was supposed to happen. I think that was legit. Before Roman Reigns even got to say anything, Seth Rollins came out, and I even loved the way that Seth Rollins was acting, where he said, you just proved my point by sending the Usos after me on Raw this week, where you can't get it done on your own. And he talks about how the real tribal chiefs are the Usos, saying that they're the reasons for his success. I love how he even threw shade, mentioning the fact that the Usos are the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Champions, but nobody's celebrating that. And they mentioned John Moxley, not directly, actually sort of directly, but it's like kind of a thing where you have to really listen for it. Where he mentioned that he couldn't do anything on his own outside of the Shield without me and Mox by his side. So it was just crazy that he mentioned him. It was unexpected.
It wasn't expected.
It also gets people talking about the Forbidden Door. So I enjoyed that. And then obviously the rest of the segment was setting up that tag match where we already kind of talked about. But yeah, this is just a hell of a segment. And I think this is because when we talked about it afterwards, it made me realize like, wow, when it comes to record-breaking title reigns, WWE cares more about it than AEW does because they mention every week that Roman Reigns is the longest reigning Universal Champion. And I remember I talked about it. The Young Bucks were the longest reigning tag champions. They legit didn't mention that until the Young Bucks. Like the Young Bucks didn't mention that until like 2 weeks ago. They're not even the champs anymore. Like.
Yeah.
I wondered if it's like that sports thinking, where Tony Khan kind of forgets, like, you're running a wrestling company now. Like, in sports, you don't mention that type of stuff because there's no real titles until the Super Bowl. Like, they don't mention, So I think Tony Khan forgets, like, you kind of have to mention the fact that these people have held their belts a while. Like, legit, they didn't mention that Kenny was the longest reigning AEW World Champion until he was about to lose the belt. Like. I don't even think you knew that. Kenny Omega's the longest AEW World Champion. They legit never mentioned it.
They didn't care to mention it.
So it's just kind of interesting that they're mentioning it. Yeah, they mention it. And the funny thing is too, Roman Reigns he's probably not even close to being done with that Universal Championship. I think he's holding that belt probably another year. Which I would not complain about. Huh?
It feels like it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my number 2, and then obviously my number 1. We'll talk about it again. Was from Dynamite this week. John Moxley's return. Now technically the better segment was probably the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins thing, but this made me feel better because it was just so good to see Jon Moxley back out there again. Because we haven't seen him in a while. The last time he was seen was when I was at AEW, and he just looks much healthier. There's this picture out there that showed him cut a promo backstage, like when he was like, you can just definitely tell that he's off the alcohol now because he just looks healthier. The promo that he cut was a hell of a promo where we talked about that there was this black cloud over him that was trying to put him down, which is obviously his addiction. And he mentions the fact that that he's back in AEW now, and the fact that now I'm back and I'm going to beat down everyone that's gonna doubt me because what I've been through is nothing compared to what I'm gonna put everybody else through. And I just thought it was a hell of a promo. It was the promo that he exactly should have cut. Obviously, we have to mention it because it kind of goes with it. Bully Ray mentioned that he should have apologized. I don't think he's got anything to apologize for.
Absolutely not.
I think, he's dealt with the demons. The promo that he cut was the promo I actually wanted him to. I feel like if he had apologized, this is also someone that also, it's just weird he wants him to apologize, but then he'll get mad if you break kayfabe. Picture if Jon Moxley had said, I apologize. Imagine how much that would have ruined his character. Like, that would have completely ruined his character if he apologized.
Oh, yeah.
But,
absolutely.
I don't think he's got anything to apologize for. He went and got clean. Now, if it's Jeff Hardy that goes out there, he's got to apologize because he's fucked up so much. He owes everyone an apology. Jon Moxley doesn't, as of right now, have anything to apologize for.
No, he doesn't.
If he fucks up again, then he owes everyone a fucking apology. But
definitely.
And I'm not going to be one of those people that doubt Jon Moxley because I don't want to get my fucking ass kicked. He said he's kicking everyone's ass who fucking doubts him. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I am.
Your ass kicked.
Yeah. Bully Ray's getting his fucking ass kicked. Yeah, I just love seeing Jon Moxley back. Too bad Eddie Kingston couldn't be there though because he's injured. So I wish he could have been there. But yeah, I'm just happy to see him back. So. Now let's get to our best and worst of the week. We're gonna start with the worst. So let's talk about it. What was your worst segment of the week?
Again, it ties into one of my flops. It's the Cody Rhodes segment.
Okay, yeah.
Did not like that even remotely.
I really couldn't. I hated the opening segment of Raw. That was my worst segment of the week. With Doudrop and everything like that. What's your worst match of the week?
Almost in the 24/7 title fucking mess.
I was thinking of putting that on the list, but I expected that. My worst match of the week is Punk versus Spears because I was expecting like this.
I was thinking that too, but I had that in my flops.
Yeah, but I was thinking of putting Punk versus Spears. I expected them to have this really good 10-minute match, and they had a 10-second squash. So yeah. What was your worst show of the week?
Dynamite. I just didn't think it was that good this week.
Funny. To me, it was Raw. Obviously, because obviously most of my flops came from Raw. So we talked about they had a main event that they booked with a DQ finish, which didn't need to be booked. Again, they have the Alexa Bliss segment. I just don't understand why they didn't have Alexa Bliss just return at the Rumble as the goddess gimmick. Again, you're trying to get away from that gimmick, but it's now she can't come back.
They trademarked that name.
Huh?
They just re-trademarked it.
But I'm just saying, she's going to come back as the goddess now, and it's not going to make any sense because we're already seeing her do this therapy gimmick, and she can't get better within, 3 weeks? That doesn't even make sense. So, I just would have preferred to see Alexa Bliss come back. There was something else that was bad on Raw. I hated the Beth Phoenix, Edge, Miz, Maurice segment. That was really bad too. And I think that was I think what no one really progressed. I think as a character except for maybe Seth and Kevin Owens. So I wasn't a fan of Raw this week. Plus it's 3 hours. So all right, who is your worst wrestler of the week?
Jade Cargill.
I don't blame you.
Probably not going to change.
Yeah, it probably isn't gonna change. I actually forgot to write one, so I have to. I'm just gonna go with Almas because he was terrible this week. Um, and let's do the best segments of the week. What was the best segment of the week?
Like you, I had the Seth Rollins Roman Reigns
Yeah,
on SmackDown thing because why? It was really fucking good, and I love the fact that they mentioned John Moxley. Loved
Obvi-
it.
obviously for me because I'm a few was John Moxley just because if it it was great to see him back and he cut the exact promo I wanted him to cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was mine too.
If it wasn't Moxley's return, it probably would have been the Roman Seth thing.
And the fact that that was 100% in the script makes it even more interesting.
Yeah,
That's what they said. I read a story. I read an article like today that said that that mentioning John Moxley was 100% in the script for Seth to say that.
so that's cool. Yeah, so that makes it even cooler. What was the best match of the week?
Roderick Strong versus Walter on 2.0.
To me, for me it was the mixed tag: Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. So, um, but Walter versus Roderick Strong's a close second. What was your best show of the week?
SmackDown. I
Okay,
really liked SmackDown this week.
I really liked.
A lot of really good.
I liked Dynamite this week. I liked the Adam Cole. I liked the mixed tag. I loved the House of Black squash with the Varsity Blondes, just because of the fact that that was actually a match that made sense to be a squash. Because if you think about it, the only reason they got squashed because Brian Pillman Jr. was too afraid to do the springboard forearm, which makes sense because
Yeah.
that's the movie fucked up. So, and then they brought back the put it back Pac into it with now he's got his sight back and they had a really good video package. John Moxley's return was awesome. Um, I really liked Cody's promo. I liked Serena Deeb versus Sky Blue, and I love the new heel Serena Deeb. I loved Layla Hurst turning heel, and I love the promo that backstage even what that Trent and Rocky Romero cut on where they were just being where Rocky was being a dick to Brandon Cutler and
That
Trent
was
was trying
so
to be.
fucking funny. That
So
was so funny.
I enjoyed how it set up Rampage. Um, they set up Jade versus Anna Jay, and I even enjoyed the how they're gonna put the Gun Club in the tag title picture now, where they attached Christian Cage backstage. So I just thought it set up future stuff. They had good stuff in the moment, and I think we're getting a Bane or a Beach Break episode next week. With we're having a lights out match, which is probably gonna main event because it always does. A ladder match. Oh, and I even enjoyed how they're setting up the breakup of the Inner Circle, where Santana and Ortiz were questioning Chris Jericho, about how they've been his lackeys and all this type of stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed Dynamite this week.
Or the breakup of the Varsity Blondes too looks like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, so that could be
And I
good.
think Julia Hart is 1,000% joining House of Black.
Yeah, same. I think I was thinking Pac was gonna too because
I was too at first.
but I don't think he's gonna now because he has his sight back now and everything. Oh, and I even enjoyed the tag match with Stan and Darby Allin, and I enjoyed the pairing of Matt Hardy and Andrade El Idolo now. I'm interested to see
I
how
don't know.
they do that.
I didn't like that at all. Really, I didn't really like that because I just feel like Andrade could be doing something different. He doesn't need a fucking stable behind him. He's too good. He's not being used anyway.
Well, maybe
I
he
guess that
will.
was just to get him on TV. Like, hey, join this fucking random stable
Well, he is
that
gonna.
Matt already said that was going to break up anyway, but they didn't.
Maybe he's gonna. Maybe he's gonna screw Matt Hardy out of it too. Oh, and also I enjoyed Lance Archer versus Frankie Kazarian and the stuff with Adam Page afterwards too. I actually kind of like the fact that Lance Archer and oh, what's his name? I knew it a week ago. Not Jake the Snake. Um, the guy
Dan
that
Lambert.
yeah, I enjoyed that Lance Archer and Dan Lambert are kind of like a thing now, and they kind of explained it in a way where it looks like Jake the Snake Roberts just set up the partnership, not Lance Archer. So,
Yeah.
and who was your wrestler of the week?
Mine was KO because he was on both Raw and SmackDown having 2 matches in the same week.
Yeah, he had a really good one with Damian Priest, and he had a really good one with the Usos. He had a great Kevin Owens segment too with Seth.
Yeah, so he was all over the show on Monday and Friday.
I mean, mine was John Moxley. I'm just happy to see him back, and he had
Yeah.
for his first match in months. He had a really damn good match with Ethan Page on Rampage this week. So,
Yeah, he had a very good match.
and I forgot to ask, who was your worst commentator of the week?
I don't know. I didn't even think of that. Who was my worst commentator of the week? None of them really.
Okay, yeah,
I didn't really have an issue with the commentary this week. I like the Raw team, I like the SmackDown team, and I like the Dynamite team.
Yeah. For me, it's Austin Idol and NWA, specifically Power this week. He was basically a heel Michael Cole, like go away. He just wouldn't shut the fuck up. He talks over everybody too. Like everyone thinks Jericho's bad. He was like 10 times worse this week. Oh, it was bad. What about who's your commentator of the week for commentator of the week? Your favorite commentator this week?
My favorite commentator?
Yeah.
I gotta go with my boy Pat McAfee.
I might go with him this week because I like Excalibur, but I think Pat McAfee was better this week. Yeah, I'll go with Pat.
For me, it's probably never gonna change because I just love Pat so much.
Yeah. This will be the only time I ask you then. So,
I mean, it could change, but like for the most part, it probably won't.
yeah. Most underrated. Who was your underrated wrestler of the week?
Underrated wrestler of the week? I give it a Nick Jackson. Last second switch to a singles match.
I'm assuming it was a COVID thing, right?
Yeah. Rocky Romero had COVID and tested positive, so they made it a singles match instead, and it was a really, really good match from what I saw.
Yeah. For me,
he's on my underrated because he can do singles matches. It's just they never do them.
Yeah.
Ever. That was like only like his 4th singles match or 3rd singles match in his career, in total in his entire career.
He
never ever does singles matches.
I think he had like a Bane not this. Yeah, he had that one, and he had like one of the best matches on Dynamite when he fought Wade Phoenix. Like that was one of the best matches I've ever seen on Dynamite.
That was insane.
I mean, for me, for obvious reasons, underrated wrestler of the week was Sean Spears because he got fucking squashed this week. So, who's your overrated wrestler of the week?
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I don't like him at all. I think he's super overrated, and that's Hook.
Okay, I actually like Hook, but I can understand why you don't like Hook.
I just don't go longer. I don't want to see you do a fucking 2-minute squash match. I'm done with those.
In all fairness, this is his first year wrestling, so I'm also not putting him on the like. If he sucks in a year, then yeah, but
I want to see him in longer matches, and then my opinion might change on him.
For me, it's Dewdrop. The fact that she had a bad match this week, and the fact that she's getting a Raw Women's title match, is terrible. So to me, it's Dewdrop. If you want, it was between her and Trevor Murdoch because he's the NWA World Champion and he shouldn't be. But I think Dewdrop this week because Trevor was on the show like not even that long this week, and he cut a good promo this week. So, but yeah, Dewdrop's probably the worst one this week. Not the overrated this week. And that's the show. See, we got out of here in like an hour and a half, buddy. How do you feel? Like,
perfect.
If I didn't get a phone call, we would have been out of here sooner. So
yeah, I mean, I kind of like that. Cuts the show down. Doesn't have to do like fucking. Doesn't take us 7 hours to do a fucking show.
And look at it, we were able to talk about stuff that people probably didn't see, and it wasn't long. We went here 6 hours. So, yeah. So that was the show. Yeah, really. Really enjoyable show. Yeah, and we'll be back next week. Chris probably won't be here. Hopefully Steve Coakley will be here. He said he would be. I didn't get a maybe, so.
Ooh, that's a big day.
Yeah. So if he's here, then that's great. Yeah, his list is gonna look so professional. I bet you're pissed at him though. He's gonna have all the.
It's gonna be a fucking. It's gonna be professional,
Not the
and I'm
most.
not gonna like it.
You're gonna fucking watch this show and like I wish my list was the. I wish I also wasn't a loading screen too. I wish I could have like an actual like fucking picture on my thing too. Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you did watch the whole thing, there's no timestamp, so that means you can't skip anywhere. So, um,
Just watch the whole thing.
yeah, watch the whole thing. It's not that long. It's only an hour and a half out of your life. Like I'm not asking you a lot.
You can skip through it if you want. You don't need timestamps. Lazy people.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We have a big week for videos next week. I'm gonna do a ton of New Japan coverage. I'm gonna finally fucking cover Wrestle Kingdom and everything. I finally watched the first night last night. I watched the first night some other time. Well, not the first night, the second night at some point this week. We'll be doing this show again. We're gonna do predictions for the Royal Rumble. I might just do it myself because I'm doing it the day of the show. So there you go. And Chris has nothing going. This is the only time he does videos. He only does it with other people. He's scared to do it by. He's scared to do it by himself.
I'm scared. I'm
He's
horrified.
he doesn't like to be alone. He doesn't like to be lonely.
I need someone to talk to.
I
go insane.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to check out all that other stuff, Chris, you say it every week. Where can you find that stuff?
It's in that neat little thing called the description box.
Yeah.
It's scripted right in that box for you.
Yep. So just go in there and click away. Just click every little thing, and then you put bells on and everything, so I can annoy you every 2 seconds. Because Chris is.
I know this.
Yeah, Chris is about to get annoyed by tags on Facebook that I posted videos and stuff. So I'd say in about an hour, Chris, you should shut off your notifications on Facebook for a little bit.
I'm going to look at my notifications, and there's going to be 10 plus.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video, and we will talk to you guys later.